and TCU this week, their seasons have kind of gone similarly in that they are good teams, but not great teams. They both have deficiencies that have cost them games. And at least with both of these, it looks like, kind of every week it's going to take one play that's going to swing the game one way or the other.
Yeah, and I mean, especially like this game is in some ways an elimination game because if you think about it, maybe TCU is already eliminated in terms of their 2 losses in conference, but for BYU or for Baylor, I mean, I think Texas Tech, like obviously who knows? College football is crazy. Maybe they lose a few games. I don't see them losing more than once, right? I mean, from what we've seen, it'd be surprising for Tech to lose more than once.
Right.
So if you think one spot in the Big 12 championship game comes up to a 1 or maybe even an undefeated Texas Tech, then how many losses is the other team going to have? I mean, so you look at the 1-loss teams, and is it going to be 2 losses? So you start to think about where this is in the hierarchy of trying to win a conference championship. But to your point, I mean, neither of these teams right now in TCU or Baylor look like teams that could win a conference championship. I would say Baylor, though, it's certainly, I mean, what's happened to Hoover here, it was kind of weird. Hoover was rolling, and he was going into that game against Arizona State, and Tim Brando and Devin Gardner kept talking on the broadcast about how underrated and good Josh Hoover was, which I mean he was and is, but it feels like in the fourth quarter he just completely collapsed with turnovers, and Levitt just had a great fourth quarter to win that game from him. And then backing it up, had some brutal turnovers in this game that basically cost them. I mean, that's what really got the floodgates open. There was a against K-State, there was a pass behind the line of scrimmage that Ed Small could have fielded, didn't really pay attention to it, thought it was just incomplete, ends up being a fumble return for a touchdown for K-State. And then K-State got a pick 6 in that game too, back to back. And that, I mean, at that point it was 14-7, so it went to 28-7 with those 2 touchdowns. That was the game there. Then their running game took over. So, Hoover has just not been nearly as sharp. 2 huge turnovers this past week that kind of cost them the game at that point and really turned the game in the tide for K-State. And then in the previous week, in the fourth quarter, really, so he's going through some stuff right now, but obviously he's crazy talented, can make all the throws. But I'd certainly bet on Sawyer Robertson and the Baylor offense. And hopefully at some point this defense can come around a little bit.